Welcome to the Site 65 podcast. I'm your host, Robert Tomato Peterson, and with me we have a gaggle of Gensec. We have Isel Kant with us.
Howdy.
Hello.
Yep, there you go. And we have another Gensec. We have Tankman.
You can just call me Bobby.
Fair enough. Cool. We have two Roberts and two Bobbies. I used to be called Bobby growing up.
Bobby.
Yeah. Although I changed it to Robert once I got into college, just because I didn't like people calling me Bobby. I felt that it made me too young. But anyways, hi
Bobby's
everyone.
a solid, reliable name.
I mean, it is, but like, I feel like when you're in college, I feel like you want to be called like your actual name.
Yeah.
So,
that makes sense.
then again, most of my professors just called me Rob, so they didn't really care. So, whatever. Anyways, this is the Site 65 podcast. We are doing another episode. Thank you all for the support we've been getting. Last episode's doing great on YouTube, and we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube, which was fantastic. We're actually a little over that right now. And you can also follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can also donate to the podcast if you want. It's not required, but it does help us keep the lights on and give us pizza. And it helps with defense funding so we can keep away CI. But yeah, so that's just my little introductions out of the way. So gentlemen, questions for you all. Since you guys have not hosted before, I like to kind of put new guests through the ringer and kind of ask you guys questions. So, Bobby, you will be first.
Oh, no.
Yes. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid. Just answer these to the best of your abilities, and you have 30 minutes. No, I'm kidding. Are you able? If you're able to tell us, how did you end up at the foundation? Like, a lot of us were recruited out of college. A lot of us were recruited out of. I've noticed a lot of Gensec have been recruited out of the military. Like, how did you end up here?
Actually, it was the military route. So straight out of college, I did the basic boot camp, and then they had a recruitment area to the side. Good money, good paying. Me being a broke college student, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go with these guys. Put me in a van and put me here. But I mean, it does make good money.
It does, but you also have to worry about the constant threat of death and dismemberment every day.
Yeah, that is fair. But then again, seeing Shy Guy like stroll through D Block with a bucket on set is pretty funny too.
It is, yes. I don't know how, but the other day there was a massive. We have in research lecture hall. There was a clipboard that was on the floor, and typically when we find clipboards like that, we just put them in. We don't really look at them. We just kind of throw them in the drawers because we assume that some researcher dropped a clipboard somewhere, and things like that. So we sent a junior researcher, and we're like, "Hey, go pick up this clipboard and bring it back here." And we hear him talking as he's walking towards us. He goes, "Man, the dude on this clipboard looks really pale. Kind of looks like 096, and then 096 just barrels through the door and takes him out.
Yeah, it can be pretty scary when they roll into D Block, but we have procedures for that kind of things, like the handy dandy bucket.
Yep, nothing. I'm surprised you don't just use like a brown paper bag or like a sack. Why a bucket?
Well, the bucket is one made out of metal, and you know how it has the little handle that can get stuck underneath its chin? Well,
fair enough.
Up there is a chin, and it kind of gets stuck. He doesn't really know that there's a bucket. He just knows that something is covering his vision, and he just... How do I explain this? It's like a drunken idiot that has a blindfold on that doesn't know he has a blindfold on, so he just runs around.
I don't do a lot of research with 096. He kind of creeps me out. I typically stick to 682.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so another question I like to ask is, what is the craziest thing you've seen at the Foundation?
That's a hard one. That
Oh,
is a
if you have
very
more than one, tell us.
um. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna consult this really quick SCP thing and see if this is classified to say or not.
That's
Um.
fine. We have documentation on everything.
Uh. Okay, so it's not. It would have to be the SCP-9000-A contaminating medical wing. It was just chaos within medical wing. Everybody was getting infected. We handled it all right, but then two other SCPs got out. I don't necessarily remember which ones, but two other got out, and it was like crazy to think. It was just in chaos.
Nice. Yeah.
Another thing would be uh hold on, let me check on this one more thing. Um See if this is classified. Look at
I think as long as it's like not like CL5, I think you're good to say it.
All right. So another crazy thing is when CI was on surface. That was a really crazy portion that I had to go crazy operation I had to go through.
Oh,
Um
okay.
we organized, it didn't really matter that I was containment unit and I had clearance level 2 advanced. It didn't really matter because we needed all the combatants we could get per se. So we just organized in garage. We had a BTR tank, and we were gonna raid the CI hideout. I remember how crazy it was. We had a Humvee and everything. We had everything there. It was just a crazy raid.
Nice. Yeah, I've been to CI base once. I got kidnapped one time, and I don't know why they were kidnapping me. I was just still an executive researcher, and they were just they came in through vents and they scooped me up along with a couple other researchers and took me to their base and made me do tests on like SCPs there that they stole and give them data. It wasn't very fun at all.
I can only imagine.
Well, it was scary for me because I had no way to defend myself. At least with you, Gensec, you have guns. Researchers aren't really supposed to have guns.
They're good against D class, but when you face armored targets, just people with body armor, it becomes a bit more of a challenge.
Yeah. Let's see. Isel.
Yes.
All right. You're up now for the questioning. Be prepared. Um, I guess same question to you. Are you able to tell us how you ended up at your position at the facility, or is that classified, or
It's not
just
classified.
whatever?
I was
Okay then.
a PMC, private military contractor. I was put into Canada because of some sort of riot, and I seen these couple guys in suits. They offered me a job, sort of like private military contracting. They said. Till I realized I was put into some weird basic training, and I became this thing that they call Gensec.
Oh, fair enough. And same question to you is what's the craziest thing you've seen at the Foundation?
I've seen the black shirts guys that protect the guys all the way at the top.
Yeah,
I've seen a squad of them get shot in the D block tower by other Gensec personnel. I don't even know what to make of that.
Crossfire Classic. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Some Gensec don't have very good aims. Oh,
Yeah,
man. We fed 999 a car the other day.
that's funny.
Yeah, so basically, we took 999 up to surface to play in the snow, which, I mean, not the best idea. But, we thought it'd be funny. So we put up a little tent and we had him just play in the snow under the tent. And in comes an incoming, what was it? It was a medical guy. He drives a little Volkswagen Golf. And for whatever reason, we were like, what if 999 could eat that car? So he said, 999, that car is made of chocolate. Go eat it. And 999 wrapped himself around the car and consumed it.
Well,
Also,
that's
999 was
one
now
thing.
the size of a car, which was adorable, but at the same time, poor little Blob seemed to be struggling with the concept of eating metal. So he quickly spit out the car. When I say spit out the car, I mean actually spit the car out. Like, the thing went flying. It was actually quite impressive. 999 has strength beyond its own, known boundaries.
Yeah, 99 is pretty. He's a blob, but not to be underestimated.
No, not at all. Oh, man. So that, let's see, what else has been going on at the Foundation recently? I've been doing a lot of 682 testing, a lot of teaching I've been trying to teach 682 hobbies, and the other day we had him do pizza day. So I taught 682 how to toss pizza dough and make pizza dough and cook pizzas. And 682 seemed to really enjoy it. We fed the pizza to site administration, and no one got sick, which, I mean, thank God. But 682 has been really taking to his hobbies quite well, and I'm very impressed with his progress. And I hope you guys have noticed that breaches are down quite a bit.
Yeah, not many breaches now.
Thankfully, there is none. Well, not as common as they used to be.
Yeah, so that was my main goal of everything, is just kind of bring breaches down and make things a little easier for you guys, because I know you guys have to deal with a lot. It's not just, shooting SCPs, it's also dealing with the brain dead D class all day. Do you have any D class that you've taken a particular liking to?
Definitely, I think Billy Bob. Billy Bob is a really nice one.
Another Bob. No, I've had interactions with him. He seems like a good person. Granted, he's
Now,
on, death row technically, but
most memorable, however, has got to be William. He's always up to something.
I don't know who that is.
He's a escape risk. We always have nice conversations at airlock.
Okay.
So he has the black and red uniform on. D8857, if I believe correctly. I believe. I'm not entirely sure what his numbers are. I just know his name. But yeah, he's really cool. I like William. Funny dude.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really have any memorable D class. Most of mine just get eaten. Unfortunately, it's a shame, but well, when you're doing a lot of testing with 682, that's kind of a risk. I mean, I suppose there's not really much else we can do about it. We can't really stop 682 from fully wanting to consume human flesh. Ugh. Speaking of human flesh, this is a random story. The pneumatic chutes for that go across the Foundation. A human arm came out of the one in Research Lecture Hall the other day.
Do you know where it came from?
CI. Yeah, Nox. He's a cannibal. He's expressed that many times on the podcast. And he sent a human arm with a bow tie on it and a little card that said, happy munching. And we're not entirely sure how he got it into the pneumatic chutes, because as far as we were aware, he wasn't inside the Foundation at the time. So we're thinking that they built a pneumatic chute that goes through the ground to CI base, and we just haven't located it yet.
Probably at a intersection or just I honestly didn't tell you.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure how that happened. We're thinking they used Mr. Deeds. What was his number? SCP-662, I want to say the guy who you can ring a bell and he'll do you one favor. We're thinking he used them because he was on site recently. We found the bell actually at an auction swap. Someone came across it and recognized it immediately, and they brought the bell to the foundation. And we were testing it, and then the bell went missing shortly after. So we're thinking CI got it, but you can only use the bell once in a while. You can't just continuously ring it if you're one person. So we're kind of keeping an eye out to see what happens with that. But yes, SCPs turn up in the strangest places.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I remember one time because after I'm done at the foundation, I like to moonlight as an Uber driver in Pinewood. I've actually driven SCPs before.
You've never driven an SCP?
No, I have driven an SCP. Yeah, one time I was just driving along and I get a request from a guy with no profile picture, and I pull up and 049 gets in. He just told me, he's like, "Can you bring me back to the foundation, please?" And I'm just like, sure. Drove him back to the foundation. He got out, gave me a $20 tip, and I was really confused. And he got recaptured by Gensec. No idea how he got to Pinewood. No idea what he was doing there. But he was very polite the entire time. He just was, for some reason, in Pinewood.
It's a really bad habit of SCPs.
Well, the thing that bothered me the most is that, like, he didn't seem rushed or anything. He willingly got recontained, so he was clearly there to do something. But we sent scouting parties out. Well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say we sent scouting parties out. That makes it sound like I sent them out. The Foundation sent parties out to go look for, any type of 049-2, any type of zombie. And we couldn't find anything. Nothing. We really have no idea how he even got to surface, because we watched the security cams and he just disappeared from his cell one day, walked into the corner out of sight of the camera. Next thing we know, he's in Pinewood.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, we have no idea how he managed to do that. Ugh. What else happened? I've driven 035. Yeah, a resident in Pinewood. This is when we first got 035 on site. He was immediately stolen by CI, and I think just some random chef in Pinewood got a hold of him somehow and put him on, and obviously 035 took over. So he took the dude's phone and was just like, "Hey, can you take me to Toronto?" And I'm like, sure, I'll take you to Toronto. And I just drove him to the front of the foundation. He was very angry with me, but he got recontained shortly after that. Have you had any unique interactions with SCPs like that?
The bugs, as far as I'm concerned.
Are you talking about what happened the other day?
Yes.
Oh my god. That was so annoying.
They talked.
They talked?
They talk.
Oh god, I did not know that. I was just kind of sitting in my office the whole time, barricading the door, just like hoping the bugs go away. I'm not the biggest fan of bugs.
I believe was on Catwalk. I was in vents with a R8 Para LMG. 100 round capacity. It's a very big round. Very big gun. Very good at clearing vents.
Yeah, bugs scare the hell out of me. I did not like that. I walked out of executive bunk, saw a bug walk across into research lecture hall, and I just went back inside, said nope, and barricaded the door. Did not want to deal with it.
Do you remember the rats around the facility?
Oh my god.
I'm too new to remember.
Shit, I remember that like it was yesterday, man. The rats running around everywhere.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Rats don't freak me out as much as bugs do because I see rats as just like weird colored hamsters where they're just kind of curious little beings, but like, yeah, that was not fun. We have a lot of weird animals in the Foundation that aren't SCPs.
Like 9-9 and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what did we have recently? We had oh god, what was it? It was the surgeon crabs.
Sturgeon. Really?
No, not sturgeon. Surgeon crabs. I think they're like 098. Anyways, they're the crabs that they come around and they kind of pick you apart and like perform microsurgeries on you. God, I can't remember the number of them off the top of my head. We had a species, we had a sample on site recently, and it sewed a dude's arms together, like straight up, just like palm up the arm. Because I think the dude like passed out or something because he saw the crab with the needle and he was scared of needles, so he fainted. And yeah, crabs just went to town sewing him up. Took a while to get him unstuck. Not very fun.
Never saw the surgeon crabs, but I have seen, YouTube shorts that have like crabs holding knives.
I know exactly what you're talking
Anyway,
about.
don't cook me in butter. It's like, but you taste so good. Come
Mess
on.
with the crabbo, get the stabbo.
Crabbo wants to sell, but he tastes so good.
Oh man, crabs are pretty tasty. I wonder if we ate the surgeon crabs, how would they taste?
Probably pretty bitter, if I have to imagine.
Yeah, I don't think they like humans.
But what if
Yeah.
they eat you? That's weird.
Do you guys know about the coconut crab?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw an image recently of some woman was having a picnic on like the island where the coconut crabs like inhabit, and it was during the evening time, and they had like a spotlight going so that they could see the picnic area because it was just like a late night and stuff like that. And then in the glow of the spotlight and the fire going, you see like 30 crabs just wandering around the picnic site. And they don't really eat like humans or anything. They were just kind of picking at the food that was on the picnic table. And I was like, that's really cool. But if I woke up and looked outside my tent and I saw like 30 crabs, I would just like get a flamethrower. I don't know.
Honestly, it would smell really good.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be a moment. I'm sorry, what? Go ahead.
Flame them up and eat them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there would be a moment where the crab meat was cooked perfectly.
Just for a moment,
Yeah, you can't cook them for too long. So we've been going about 25 minutes. I think we're going to end off the episode here. This has been, I think, a good introductory episode for you guys to kind of dip your toes into hosting and let people know who you are and what you do. So I'll just ask my usual closing comments. Isel, do you have anything you want to say to the nice people?
Not really, other than have a good day.
All right.
Thanks for attending Thanks for attending the podcast. Hope to see you guys later. Let the researcher know if you guys want me and Isle on here again.
Oh, you guys are welcome to host whenever you want.
Aw, cool.
Yeah. We don't really have a set host list. Like, it's not just a one and done thing. You're allowed to host as many times as you want. It's just we host every 2 weeks. So, yeah, now that you know that. So anyways, yeah, let me just do my little ending spiel and then we can end off this episode. So this has been the Site 65 podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Go support us there, subscribe, follow, whatever. You can also donate if you want to. Donations are not required, but they keep the lights on and buy us pizza. Anyways, Yeah, this has been another fun episode. Thank you very much for listening, and have a wonderful day.